Archaeologists may have discovered lost tomb of Cleopatra. Archaeologists have found Cleopatra's sunken palace under the Sea of Alexandria, and many believe her tomb too must lie somewhere there. Archaeologists made an incredible discovery when they stumbled upon two mummies next to one another. This chamber had not been unsealed for centuries, but was opened by scientists only to discover something unimaginable. Cleopatra has attained a status of immortality that very few of her contemporaries did. Much of what we know and still don't know about the Queen of the Nile comes from a history that has been romanticized and fictionalized. The story of her affair with Roman general Mark Antony and their tragic demises have echoed through the ages. Entombed together, they are possibly in an eternal slumber somewhere in Egypt. The location of the tomb has been long lost to history, despite regular reports that archaeologists are on the verge of its discovery. The remains are missing. Recently discovered by archaeologists under an Egyptian temple that might lead to the long-lost tomb of Cleopatra is the Chamber of Secrets. Throughout Egypt and Europe there are teams of experts on the hunt for traces of Cleopatra. People have been trying to unravel the mysteries surrounding her demise and the conundrum of her lost tomb for ages. Cleopatra's last wish was "No man will find my tomb." Maybe she was right, and that is why perhaps a woman is fated to find her tomb. Cleopatra's fascinating legend has captured the imagination of many, from Shakespeare to Hollywood, as well as generations of historians have been interested in her story, including a lawyer-turned-archaeologist, Dr. Kathleen Martinez. Dr. Kathleen Martinez is a Dominican self-taught archaeologist from the University of San Domingo. She has been searching for the lost tomb of Cleopatra for nearly 20 years now. Never losing hope, she made an oath to solve this mystery. It seems Dr. Martinez is on the right track. The Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities recently announced the progress of the Dominican Egyptian Archaeological mission at the site of the Top Osiris Magna Temple. Along with her team, Dr. Martinez uncovered the tunnel and described this 4,281-foot-long and about 2-meter-high burrow as a geometric miracle. While its destination is not certain, the team expects it to lead to Cleopatra's tomb. The tomb itself has yet to be discovered, but based on the location of the tunnel, archaeologists believe they may have found its place. Kathleen said if there's a 1% chance that the last queen of Egypt could be buried there, it is my duty to search for her. If we discover the tomb, it will be the most important discovery of the 21st century. If we do not discover the tomb, we made major discoveries here inside and outside the temple, in addition to the tunnel. They came across 2 Ptolemaic-era alabaster statues, one of which appears to be a sphinx. Part of the tunnel is underwater, perhaps due to the ancient earthquake that struck the region between 320 and 1303 CE. Those natural disasters could have led to the collapse of the Top Osiris Magna. The journey to Cleopatra's tomb, Top Osiris Magna, was just another archaeological site in Egypt until it was speculated that it could be the resting place of Cleopatra and her lover Mark Antony. Archaeologists have found Cleopatra's sunken palace under the Sea of Alexandria, and many believe her tomb too must lie somewhere there. The excavation at Top Osiris Magna began in 1998, and 8 years later they were excavating at a temple dedicated to the goddess Isis. It's well known that ancient rulers saw themselves as divine, even godlike, and Cleopatra doesn't seem to be any different in this case. According to scholars, she called herself the new Isis, telling her subjects she was the embodiment of Isis on earth. While working on the site, Kathleen's eyes caught the traces of a building from the previous dig. It was a temple dedicated to Osiris, the god of the deceased. On further excavation, she discovered some foundation to deposits which indicated the first direct link between the temple site and Cleopatra's family line. The inscriptions on the tablets read Basiliosus Ptolemaeus, which means King Ptolemy, an ancestor of Cleopatra. She was of Macedonian descent and had little if any Egyptian blood. In 2020, archaeologists made an incredible discovery. The search stumbled upon 2 mummies next to one another. This chamber had not been unsealed for centuries but was opened by scientists for a new Channel 5 documentary in the UK, called The Hunt for Cleopatra's Tomb. The mummies were also originally wrapped in gold leaf, denoting that they were probably very important individuals, and the X-rays revealed that one of the mummies was male and the other female. Did they just accomplish their ultimate goal? Unfortunately, these mummies turned out not to be the legendary Egyptian Queen Cleopatra and her lover Mark Antony. The male and female male mummies found may have been priests who played a key role in maintaining the power of Antony and Cleopatra. There was also a bust believed to depict Cleopatra and around 200 coins depicting her visage. The most accepted idea by old scholars about this temple until this discovery was that it was never finished and it never functioned as a temple. Previously, kings only appeared on high-value coins used by the wealthy, but the findings showed Cleopatra's face on low-value bronze coins. Maybe Cleopatra desired for her face to be seen and idolized by all of her subjects. She wanted to remind everyone, the rich and the poor, who was in charge. One of Cleopatra's most enduring legends has to do not with her life, but with her demise. According to the story, when Cleopatra learned her forces had been defeated by Octavian, who would become the first emperor of Rome, she calmly wrote a note, handed it over to a guard and willingly held a venomous snake to her chest. Because historians like to question things, no one definitively accepts this account of Cleopatra's demise. There are some problems with it. For a start, the story indicates that it only took a few minutes for her to pass away. But the venom of the concerned kind of Egyptian snake takes a few hours to work and doesn't always guarantee demise. Most historians agree on the part that Cleopatra took her own life, but the method isn't clear. It's possible she simply drank a vial of venom, but that story just isn't as dramatic, which is probably why today most people still think it was the snake. Either way, she perished at the young age of 39. After her demise, Octavian seized control of Egypt and made it a province of Rome, ending the era of the Egyptian pharaohs. According to ancient accounts, he permitted her to rest in her tomb alongside Antony. But then why would he hide it? Egypt's most famed archaeological discovery to date is of course King Tut's tomb unearthed 100 years ago by Howard Carter in the Valley of the Kings outside the city of Luxor. But is Dr. Kathleen Martinez about to create history? If she manages to find the intact mummy of Cleopatra, she could earn a place among the most famous archaeologists in the world. Will the chambers lead to her idol's resting place, and will she find her there, or are the chambers leading them up the garden path?